Howdy, howdy, y'all. Welcome to Aggie SWAMPCast 3.0, episode 4. That will make this a record for the most podcast episodes filmed for Aggie Swamp in a row. I'm here joined by Ion, our acting chair. And I also have special guest Matt.
Hello, everybody. I was treasurer of Swamp from 2019 to 2021, I think. I think that's right. And yeah, I'm been invited. Thank you very much, Brek. And hopefully you don't regret it.
Hopefully I won't either. Anyways, so this topic for this podcast, because this is pretty early into 2023, we have to talk about all the movies that came out in 2022. So I just want to know, what are y'all thoughts on 2022 in general in regards to film?
I mean, for me, this is the first year I've really actually watched most of the movies that came out. This is the first time I've really kept up. So yeah, I liked it. I thought there were a lot of good movies.
I thought it was honestly a really solid year. Surprisingly so. There was a time when there were 5 movies in the theater that I wanted to see all at once. And
That's
I was like,
fair.
I literally can't remember the last time that's happened to me since I was maybe like 9 or 10. So yeah, it was exciting. I didn't see everything, obviously. So some of those movies could have sucked.
Is that
but
because? Oh, sorry. Is that because you know some of the movies, like you know more about the movies that are coming out, and so you know which ones to avoid, or?
no, genuinely, I saw like, oh, I did want to see that. I did want to see that. I did want to see it. And then I found out they were all out at the exact same time. And I was like, oh shit. Like they just snuck up on me. So yeah, it was very fun.
Personally, I think this is one of the better years for films in quite a while. I think because personally, one of my favorite years for movies was 2014. I don't know if y'all know some of the movies that came out that year. For me, it was that year had both Whiplash, Birdman, Interstellar, Grand Budapest Hotel. I mean, that year was stacked for films. And maybe 2019 as well had some good stuff like Parasite, whatever you say about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Uncut Gems and all that. Joker, I guess. Yeah. Joker, best movie 2019.
I get very
Anyone in
excited
here hates
about.
Joker? They have a problem with me.
Who could hate Joker?
We live in a society.
The media. That's who.
Yeah, that is true.
But this isn't a podcast about Joker.
It should be.
It should be. All right, let's talk about Joker now. Guys, are we excited for Joker 2? Oh, that Joker 2.
Lady Gaga!
Yeah.
Tar was the Joker of 22.
Oh boy, I can't wait to wait to see what people say about that.
Gotta separate the Tar from the TARDIS. Matt, did you see Tar?
I have not seen Tar.
Oh, it was really good.
I feel like I haven't seen a lot of the really great movies of 2022, but I did see a lot of movies. So
Tar was originally my number 1 pick for 22, but then I saw Puss in Boots.
Okay, that is the perfect segue into the next category. What is your favorite movie 2022? And Ion, you already said it's Puss in Boots. Why is it Puss in Boots?
I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure if it is, but okay, it's a mix up between Tar, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots was just, I just saw Puss in Boots like yesterday. It was really well. I usually need a little more time to decide whether it's my favorite movie of the year, but just it was very inspired. The cinematography was amazing. They did an awesome job with the animation. They took a lot of pages out of Enter the Spider-Verse's book, and it really shows. The humor was good, but the story and the character development is where it really shines. Is it okay to put like a very minor spoiler of just a thing that happens, not why it happens, but just like something a character goes through?
If it doesn't spoil the movie as a whole, or doesn't like affect the viewing, then I think it's all right.
Okay. Two things. The main villain per se. Maybe not the main. There's a few different villains in it, and they're all well done. But oh my god, it was fucking chilling. I cussed.
The wolf?
I
Was it
cussed.
the wolf?
Yes, the wolf is chilling.
Okay.
It's incredibly done.
That was my favorite.
So good.
That's the biggest reason why I wanted to see the movie, because I don't know if you know this. The wolf is played by the same guy who played Pablo Escobar in the Narcos series.
Really?
Ooh.
And so I'm currently catching up with Narcos right now, and that made me really excited when I saw him on the cast list.
The wolf gave me chills. It was genuinely terrifying. I'm surprised those kids weren't crying more.
Wow.
And,
that good.
right? But I think Puss in Boots had the best depiction of a panic attack I've seen in any movie.
Okay.
It was really well done, and also showing how to handle it. It was very maturely written. The communications between, like, you know how like there's like frustration about like communication between characters. You don't feel that in this movie. The plot moves forward without miscommunications and without like, you know, frustrating things that you're like, why aren't you just doing this? Right? Very well written movie. Yeah, the characters are enjoyable, and yeah, I can't say too much more without giving it away. I'm not sure if that is my favorite movie yet. It would be Tar, Everything Everywhere beyond that, because you know, those are both great movies too.
I have a feeling that Everything Everywhere All at Once is somewhere within all three of ours list of the top.
For sure.
So, Ion, one more thing. Do you think you need to see Puss in Boots 1 in order to enjoy the second? Because I personally haven't seen it.
So there are I only recognized one reference from the first one, and I saw the first Puss in Boots when it came out. It was actually an empty theater when I saw it in Dallas. I saw it with my parents. We were the only people there.
You can go in completely blind, not knowing Puss in Boots, and you'll have a great time.
You could have gone in not knowing anything about Shrek.
Okay, nice.
Like, it is a standalone movie. You can know nothing about anything. You could go in without any preconception of the English language or even what a cat is, and you might be able to glean something from it.
Yeah, no matter what language you speak,
So
everybody's had a panic attack before.
Right.
When was the last time DreamWorks had a W like this? I can't remember the last like really good DreamWorks film. Maybe How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon
2, maybe How to Train Your Dragon 2, which I don't know how long ago that came.
Sorry, did you not see The Boss Baby?
Oh, yeah,
Oscar nominated Boss Baby.
How could I forget? My
Lord.
apologies. My apologies.
But no, honestly, I'm hyped for this Puss in Boots movie because I had absolutely no interest in seeing this, but everybody has been raving about it so hard that I'm excited now. I'm hyped. I want to watch this. And I did see the first one. I did see the first one a while ago, and I thought it was really boring. So when I saw they were making a sequel, I was like, do people still care about Puss in Boots? What the fuck? And I thought it looked cool, but now that it's actually like fairly great, I want to watch this now.
I think one of the most interesting things that Puss in Boots did was it managed to incorporate a lot of different styles and like cinematographies throughout in different ways. Like at some points it was homages, and I know that part of it was like homages to things I haven't seen before, but that the variety that they managed to incorporate was really nice.
It's just a pure passion put into screen.
Oh yeah, and the animation's beautiful. It's a joy to watch. And when that wolf comes on the screen, anyways, that's it.
All right, Matt, I'm gonna put it on you. What is your favorite movie or movies of 2022?
Well, I'll just go with movie just so we can keep it a little bit shorter. But my favorite, like what you were saying, Brek, is definitely Everything Everywhere All at Once. I kind of don't want to just repeat what everybody else is saying, but I mean, I've been following Daniels, the directors, since 2016 when they made Swiss Army Man. I loved that movie a lot. I was always surprised it didn't have like a bigger fan base. So I've been kind of keeping my eye on Everything Everywhere for a while now. And then when the first trailer dropped, I said, okay, this is going to be awesome. And as soon as I heard it was the highest rated movie on Letterboxd, and there were like it for a second, it was hard to find seats for it, even though it had a limited screening. All of the theaters were sold out, and I was really surprised. And I said, oh, okay, so this is going to be big then. And I mean, the movie just kind of blows you away. Honestly, it's funny, it's sad, it looks incredible, which the budget for this was only $20 million, so there's no excuse why any movie can look bad ever. Honestly, it's all about talent. It has nothing to do with money. The fight scenes are really well done. It's an action movie, it's a comedy, it's a sci-fi fantasy, but most importantly, it's a family drama. And I also thought it was really interesting the fact that they told it from the perspective of a toxic mom, because any other movie like this would probably have it told from the perspective of the kid. But to sort of go in with that really like empathetic look, I think was really, I don't know, it was really just soulful and great. And it felt like it had something to say. The quirky humor felt earned, and there's a lot of parts where like I could just hear people in the theater bawling, and I cried quite a bit. I've saw it 3 times in the theater, and I have not done that for any movie ever. So that lets you know how much I really liked it. So yeah, definitely Everything Everywhere All at Once by like a wide margin. Not to say other films this year weren't great, but for me personally, it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Also, all the Matrix references.
Yes. So many references in that movie. It's crazy.
There are, yeah.
They managed to blend, I think, like 5 or 6 movies into one, and they made it cohesive, and they made it like enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen them before, it still works. And that's the best part about it.
So you're an Everything Everywhere All at Once hipster. You were there.
I am, yes. I was there before it was cool. It was so weird because I was like, well, I want to see this, but like, I don't know anybody else who'd be interested in it. And then I had like 5 people asking me, like, hey Matt, when are we gonna go see Everything Everywhere All at Once? And I was like, okay, wow, this is big. And now it's A24's highest grossing movie, and it's so crazy. Like, I'm so happy for it.
Not only that, it made like 4 times the budget, right?
Yes, something it did. Like I'm so happy for it.
It's definitely the most exciting movie of 22 because of what it says about the future of filmmaking.
Yeah, for real. And now Daniels have a Universal deal, so I'm very excited.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Nice. But Robert Eggers had a Universal deal. We all know how that went.
Oh yeah,
which we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay. Because at least I think it's because of the success of his movie that came out this year.
Yes, it is. It was very highly successful. Audiences everywhere loved it.
I liked it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Because I have something within that category coming up. But
real quick, I want to, because I'm still very on the fence on what my favorite movie was. I think I am leaning towards, like, I just wanted to gush about Puss in Boots a little bit because I just saw it. I think I am leaning towards Everything Everywhere right now. Like, that's I don't know how much spoilers we should be giving here.
For Everything Everywhere, there's a lot of spoilers you can give out that will.
Okay, I think the rock scene was just jaw dropping.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know that a filmmaker was ballsy enough to put that in a movie.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
And now when you're talking about it, Matt, you made me remember just how emotionally impacted I felt at the end of the movie. That was really good point about it being from the perspective of the mother. That was really well done. I think that really, you're right, it heightens the movie because I think we already kind of understand the daughter's perspective in a lot of ways. So seeing it from her perspective makes it mean all that much more.
Yeah, definitely. And it kind of gives the whole like feeling worthless her entire life. Now she finally feels special, but it's because she's so bad at everything. And that's something I really like about the Daniels is that they take the thoughts that you have in your head that you're not really comfortable with saying out loud, or you're like, I'm not going to say that. And then they put it at the forefront of the movie.
Yeah.
It's almost like they force you to look at it, but in a way that I feel like is digestible while also making people think a little bit more, and I really like that.
I think it also spoke to me on the level of like living in a modern world, because the way we communicate is changing. We live in a meme world now. We you know, memes are more important than we give them credit for. We can communicate complex ideas with just an image now. I think older generations don't always understand how important it is, especially to us. And I feel like it kind of touched on that, the idea of like feeling almost overwhelmed by the amount of content online too. Like, I think that was kind of the point of the movie in some ways, is just like everything, everywhere, all at once.
We can move on, but I just want to say the music is also very good.
Oh, the
By
music's
Son Lux,
great.
it's very, very good.
Again,
Oh, I
a work
remember.
of pure passion. I
Mhm.
feel like always the best movies of a year is one where you can clearly tell that passion was put into the project.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. And shout
Also,
out. Oh, you go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. No, you
No,
go
you
ahead.
go ahead. You go ahead.
Fantastic editing, by the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
to make. And then I found out the editor for Everything Everywhere edited a lot of episodes of the Eric Andre show.
Oh, yeah. I
And
remember
once
that.
you realize that, it makes a lot more sense how they can get all of these crazy ideas while still putting it in like a way that feels very narratively I don't want to say digestible again, but
That
you can
works.
tell what's happening essentially, even though
Cohesive.
it's going through all of the cohesive, yes.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like, even though you're with all of these different locations, with all these different dimensions and all these different characters. I'm thinking of that one scene where she's talking to her daughter, the villain side of the daughter, and while they're having this heart to heart kind of this argument, she's jumping into all of these different dimensions where they're introducing all of these new things like the hot dog fingers, and it's just like, how is this should not be working right now, but it is, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can move on though, because I can talk about it forever, but
Oh, I have one
go
more
ahead.
thing.
Mhm.
Shout out to a movie that did an LGBT story without feeling forced, without feeling like it was
Yes.
just shoved in there. It was natural. It was a part of the story. It made sense. And, it could also be a stand-in for any other number of things. Like, just the general idea of the mother having to accept something about her daughter, or in the way that the daughter has to deal with other people about it, like her grandfather. Uh, and that was really well done. That was nice to see.
I agree. I feel like for me, Everything Ever All at Once is the most important film to come out this year. It was my favorite for a while. Then I saw a movie recently, and this one is probably going to be the most divisive out of all three of our favorites here. But Babylon, Babylon is my favorite movie of 2022, purely from an entertainment perspective. Usually, I'm pretty iffy when it comes to films that are over the 3 hour mark. The only other film that I saw that's over 3 hours that made my jaw drop as much as Babylon did was Magnolia by PTA. And Babylon does feel like a Paul Thomas Anderson film, but it is probably the most unsafe film to come out this year in regards to what it showcases. True story. Ion can attest to this. Every time I've seen this movie twice in theaters, every single time I went, at least one other person left the theater. At least one other person left the theater before the movie ended. And if you know the ending, not going to say anything about the ending, but if you know the ending, the entire theater besides us left before it ended, the last 5 minutes. Like, there's no other movie that can, like, that's crazy, right?
That annoyed me.
It's
That really annoyed
annoying,
me.
and it's making zero, it's losing so much money right now. But it's so much fun. I could watch that movie. For me, that's like a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where I could just watch that over. It may not be the best of the year, but I could just watch that over and over and over again, never get bored. From a pure filmmaking standpoint, I think I have to give it to Tar, though. Tar, just purely from filmmaking alone, had the best stuff in it. But
yeah, it was a hard mix up between Tar and Everything Everywhere for me, because Tar was just so good.
Tar had
Those
my
are two
favorite
movies.
Tar had my favorite ending of 2022. I'll say
Oh
that.
yeah, me too.
Those are two movies I haven't seen, so I can't comment
Yeah.
on them. But you make me really excited to check out Babylon, though.
I think it's
Babylon's
worthy.
I
It is worthy for a theater experience, but keep your mind open because
yeah, because I saw the trailers and I was like, okay, I didn't want it to be just like a. Oh, remember when Hollywood was great, Jerk
it's not
Fest?
that at all. My
Okay,
favorite take on the movie was it is both a love letter to cinema and a suicide note to Hollywood at the same time.
okay, interesting. I'll check it out.
But yeah, let's move on. We've talked about our favorite movies, but there are so many movies that came out this year. Were there any of them that were maybe not your favorite, but the most surprising to you? The one that you thought was a lot better than you initially anticipated?
I got a perfect answer for this. You
All
ready?
right.
Motherfucking Ambulance.
Yes.
What
I
a
didn't see it yet.
what a film. What an experience.
It is
The
the
new
most
Michael Bay film was.
Michael Bay just knows what he's doing now. If Michael Bay's like this for the rest of his life, I don't care. He's more
Yeah.
Michael Bay in this than he is in Transformers, and I thought that was hard to top.
Yeah, it is insane. Number one, the movie is 2.5 hours with no plot, with barely a plot. It is literally just a long car chase. But well, okay. Filmmaking wise, like it's so well done. The drone shots are great. The way he incorporates it never feels forced. It feels like it helps the story. There's that one shot. It's in the trailer, but it's such a cool shot. I don't even care. The drone is moving down the street while two cars kind of kick up and then they collide with each other in midair. And then the camera kind of like swoops under them. And it was so awesome. I don't care. And then the characters are all very, very simple. It is like 90s Bay character levels.
He's reverted back to Bad Boys, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Which is referenced in the movie.
Along with a few others.
Yeah, he keeps name dropping his own movies in the movie. There's just like also he has that like humor that just does not work ever. Like there's a part where they're chasing the ambulance under an overpass and they have to stop the police chase because the head FBI's dog is in one of the cop cars. So they just have to stop chasing them in the middle of a chase scene. And it's like clearly supposed to be a joke, but it doesn't work at all. And then there's another part where they have a hostage. They shot a cop, and the cop is in the ambulance. And the head EMT or the head driver is the hostage. And she says, "I wish y'all would just take me back to the hospital." And then Jake Gyllenhaal says, "Well, I wish I didn't have herpes, but we don't always get what we want."
Yeah.
Just very casually, as if everyone in the theater wouldn't go, what the fuck is happening? No, it's it is definitely a wild ride, but it's somehow pretty much entertaining throughout the entire time. Watch it on a very big TV screen and then expect to lose a lot of brain cells. But I had a very, very fun time watching it. And I cannot say that for any other Michael Bay movies, honestly.
Not even his 90s. I love his 90s stuff so much.
Yeah, I've never seen The Rock, but I
Okay.
will say I'm not a big fan of Bad Boys, honestly. I have not seen Bad Boys 2, and I've heard Bad Boys 2 is amazing.
The Rock is one of my favorite action movies of all time. So
Interesting.
This gave me everything I wanted. Ambulance gave me everything I wanted. I'm calling it now. Drone shots are going to be the new norm for action, like high budget action movies in the future.
I hope so. I hope so.
And I hope they do it. I hope they like go all out with it because Ambulance did they have done some like drone shots already? Like the Gray Man did a lot of drone shots. Red Notice did drone shots, but not like Ambulance.
Yeah, Ambulance
Not even
actually
close.
used them as part of the actual like filmmaking language, where I feel like a lot of other movies just kind of use it as establishing shot, wide shot, and I feel like they just used it in so much more creative ways. And it reminded me, do you remember when there was that trend for a year where people were trying to figure out how to make vertical movies work.
Yes, I remember that.
That was such a waste of time. They should have been figuring out how to make drones work.
Drone shots, the way ambulances drone shots can only be achieved with a drone. That's the separation between how other films use drone shots. And that's what makes it so much fun. Also, Jake Gyllenhaal looks like he's having the time of his life.
Yeah, he looks like he feels like a madman. He's insane. Everybody else is trying to take the movie seriously to some degree, and Jake Gyllenhaal is just like he acts like. And the movie does get you to kind of sympathize with him, like a tiny, or it tries to get you to sympathize with him, but he's such a crazy man that you don't. And then they have to build up the fact that him and his brother, because one's white and one's black. The brother is played by the new Morpheus. And they have to point out, like, every 5 minutes of the movie, man, we're brothers, man. We do everything together, bro. We're brothers. We got the same dad. No, you're not. You fake brothers. We're brothers, man. And then he shoots him because he called him a fake brother. It's great. And it has that Michael Bay oversaturation look. And this is the only one of his movies where I feel like it actually works and it didn't give me an eyesore and didn't make me want to throw up. I thought it worked this time.
I have never seen a single Michael Bay movie.
And I think he could go through life without doing it. Out of all of them, I think The Rock and Ambulance is up there, honestly.
I need to see Ambulance.
Everybody needs to see Ambulance.
And you dropped a lot of spoilers, but it's Ambulance. I don't think
I tuned out for a second. I tuned out.
Nothing, honestly, nothing in the...
It never detracts from the movie.
I really don't think it matters.
I don't think so either. Ion, do you have
I really want to see it.
Do you have a movie that surprised you this year?
Me? Oh, yeah. The Menu. I really thought that The Menu wasn't going to be good. I went in with the lowest expectations. And at the beginning, there were some slight audio issues. So I was like, okay, like, I don't think this is going to be any good. But it just kept pleasantly surprising me the whole way through. It was a really fun movie. I had a lot of fun with that.
It's a satire. It works very well as a satire.
It did. It did a great job. That was a very pleasant surprise.
It was like the Hunger Games, but for real.
It's like,
I also have not seen this movie, by the way.
It's good.
Okay. I need to watch it.
There are just so many parts of it that made me laugh.
Yeah, chef.
Yeah. Not really a surprise, but Banshees of Inisherin was really fun too.
Oh yeah, we knew that was going to be good.
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay,
Matt, did you see Banshees?
I did see Banshees, yeah,
Nice.
but I didn't feel like it fit in this category because I thought it was going to be pretty good when I went in.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but I do have another answer for a movie I thought was going to suck, but I actually liked it more than I thought I would. I got to give it out to my boy Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh,
I took
yeah,
my little
that
cousin.
God,
came out
about.
this year. That came
Oh
out
my
too.
God, I forgot that came out this year.
I took my little cousin
I
to
liked
see
it.
it. I liked it too. I saw the first one, was not a giant fan of it. Was expecting to kind of do the same thing, and I surprisingly had a lot of fun with the movie. It's too long. I'll say
agree.
that. It definitely could have trimmed out some stuff more, but I was surprisingly I had a really fun time watching Sonic the Hedgehog, and I was just really grateful that I didn't have to pull my phone out secretly and do work on it, and I could just watch the movie and it would be good.
Yeah, I didn't see the first one, and my friends wanted to go see it because it had become a tradition because we watched the first one. Or I didn't watch it with them. I didn't make it that time. I didn't need to know anything going in. I had a great time. Jim Carrey as Robotnik was great.
He was really good. Like,
Even
I was
better than the first?
surprised. Yeah, the first one I got I mean, I don't know. I just think it's like the writing to me. But I feel in this one, because he's paired with Knuckles the entire time instead of his old sidekick or whoever the guy was in the first movie. And I felt like the fact that you never feel like he's just talking to air and he's talking to a CGI Knuckles is a testament to how good he is. Unlike James Marsden, who you never feel like is talking to Sonic, but you know,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is Jim
Knuckles,
Carrey. This is his wheelhouse.
there's a lot of fun stuff in the movie. Knuckles is really funny at a lot of different points, and yeah, Knuckles is a really funny part of the movie. There's something else. Yeah, keep
And
going.
can I spoil one tiny thing about Sonic 2?
Oh, the
Uh,
tattoo bit. The tattoo bit. Do you remember that part?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
Where he opens his shirt in a certain position and it's a tattoo of him doing the exact same position.
I did not. I'm sorry.
That was the best bit in the movie.
I believe you, Ion.
No one
Can I?
believes me.
I'm sorry. So much happened that it must have slipped my mind. Can I spoil one tiny thing
if
about
it's
Sonic?
one really tiny thing, go ahead.
There's an end credits scene, and they tease Shadow is going to be in the next
Oh, I heard about
movie.
that. Yeah, I heard about that.
And there's a petition to get John Barathol to play him,
Ooh, yeah.
and I think that would be really
That would be
epic.
so
but
good.
I want to throw my hat into the ring. I would like to petition to be Sonic the Hedgehog. That would be my dream come true. Sony, Paramount, whoever makes those movies, Sega, if you're listening.
We'll
My
get
name
this
is Matt
podcast
Banzer.
viral. We'll get this podcast
Get this
viral.
podcast viral.
Mhm.
Let me be Sonic. I will send you my audition tape. Or Shadow, I mean. And then last pick for this choice is going to be, I did not expect the new Top Gun to be good at all.
Really?
And no, because I mean, I'm not a really big fan of the original Top Gun. And I saw the trailer for this and I was like, why the fuck would anybody want a new Top Gun? And I surprisingly had a good time. But I'm sure we're going to talk more about Top Gun later. So
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Most surprising.
what about you, Brek?
What about me? I think okay, the biggest one that comes to mind for me was Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Because I really, really did not want to see it, but I saw it with Ion and Winston, went over, saw it at night showing, and I had a surprisingly really good time with that movie. It is not to be taken seriously. It's a much more smaller film in scale compared to a lot of the other films that came out this year, but I'd say the writing itself was pretty clever, and I really like some of the character interaction. There's a really funny one with Pete Davidson. I think a third.
Bodies.
Yes.
I missed what movie you were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
okay.
was a fun movie.
There's one interaction with Pete Davidson. I want to say a third way into the film that made me laugh so hard in the theater. That was a fun one, and the ending was just as like inconsequential. It's great. It's great.
Would you say it's a good murder mystery?
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
It's definitely one that slipped under a lot of people's radars, but I would recommend that. Another one, I think that would more closely fit this topic is Elvis.
Ooh, yeah.
Elvis. I've never been a fan of music biopics, especially recently. Rocket Man was okay, and I really did not like Bohemian Rhapsody. But for Elvis is so stylish and just so out there that I just fell in love with it immediately. Say what you want about Tom Hanks, he was great. Austin Butler
was good.
Austin Butler was so good as Elvis. It's insane because he doesn't look like Elvis really. Like they take some did they take footage from actual Elvis towards the end or something? Like
yeah, he looks nothing like Austin
he
Butler.
looks nothing like it, but he don't care. He acts so well in that movie. It might be one of my favorite performances of the year, honestly. He's so good.
Oh, yeah.
And the best part is they don't shy away from the dark side of Elvis like a lot of biopics like to do. They never shied away from it. It showed this crazy lavish lifestyle. It showed that he himself was the antagonist, even though it's clear that Tom Hanks's character was the antagonist. This supposed to be the antagonist of the film. I love it. It was great.
Yeah, it was really well done.
No, I'm really glad you said that because I also thought Elvis was going to be terrible. I have always had a love-hate relationship with Baz Luhrmann.
Mhm.
I usually love his styles a lot, but I always feel like they work against his movies. And I also feel his movies are very stupid.
Yeah.
The Romeo and Juliet movie, I know it has its fans. I love the soundtrack for that movie. I love the look of that movie. I love the cinematography and the weird editing, but it is I cannot take that movie seriously at all. It is so stupid.
Okay.
The fact that he
So-
pulls out two guns that say sword on them so that way they can fit into the I shield my sword at the is so
I
fucking
forgot
dumb.
about that.
It
Oh
is
my
so
God, I forgot
stupid.
about that. So, in terms of like Baz Luhrmann's filmography, this is the first time I've seen his movie that wasn't in a school setting because we read Romeo and Juliet in I think freshman year of high school. Then we saw the movie at the end of the semester.
Mm,
I think junior year we read The Great Gatsby. Then we saw The Great Gatsby movie at the end of the year. And so
mm.
and then Elvis would be my third film I seen by him. And this this works style wise, this works the best out of any
Oh,
other
sure.
movie he's done. This
Mhm.
definitely is the
The
best.
editing and CGI were incredible.
Yes, for real. Again, we're kind of to get we were talking about with Everywhere All at Once, but the way it puts all of these timelines together, and you never feel exhausted, even though so much is happening at once. You're just
Mhm.
always the movie is always constantly moving. It bounces from one thing to the other without feeling like there's a giant jump in time. It feels narratively satisfying, and yet, like obviously, a lot of the stuff, some of the stuff was made up, like every biopic, and
Mhm.
also they aged up Leah Marie Presley for the movie because
Yeah,
he hooked up. She was
yeah.
14,
That's what I was about to mention.
which is
Yep.
not great, but also the first trailer for this was awful. It was horrible. The way it incorporated the dubstep music,
Yeah.
um,
Which it's still in the film, but it actually
but it
works weirdly.
works.
Worked when it was there.
It's so bizarre, and the fact that they would have these modern remixes of Elvis songs, but featuring Tame Impala, featuring Doja Cat,
Mhm.
featuring I think there was a cover by Casey Musgraves at some point. The fact that they all work is awesome because he's done this. So you've never seen Moulin Rouge?
No, I haven't.
Because Moulin Rouge, I really like Moulin Rouge. The story's not great, but it's very stylistic in the same way where it feels like a music video,
Mhm.
essentially. But all of the songs they're all anachronistic, but they're all covers pretty much.
Mhm.
There's like David Bowie covers, and they at some point start singing Nirvana, like a chorus line. And I felt in that movie, even though I liked it, I was like, what the fuck is this? But I still love it. Where in here, I don't feel like it detracted from the story at all. And I felt like everything about it worked.
And just to preface here, Matt, you thought Elvis was crazy. Wait till you see Babylon. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I know. I can't. That's why I'm saying I can't wait to see Babylon. I'm really excited for this.
Babylon is insane. The movie doesn't feel real.
It really
That's part of what I love
the
about it.
mo-
It feels unreal.
the movie should not have been made. There is no reason for that movie to be made, but it happened. That's all I'm gonna say.
Would you compare it to Under the Silver Lake?
I haven't seen it. Um,
Ooh,
I would compare it more to like a crazier version of Boogie Nights. If you've seen Boogie
okay,
Nights,
interesting. I have seen
is
Boogie Nights. I love
very.
Boogie
There are a
Nights.
lot of similarities to Boogie Nights.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the Alfred Molina scene in Boogie Nights?
Yes.
There is a companion piece to that in Babylon that stretch your nerve endings to its absolute limits. That's all I'm gonna
Okay,
say.
I'm
Brek,
very
Brek,
excited for this movie now.
can you like personally message me what
Oh,
scene you're talking about,
I
or
could
give
just
me
say
like
one
give me
actor.
like one word?
I could just say one
Okay.
actor, Tobey Maguire. That's all you need to
Oh,
know. That's all you need to know.
yeah. Okay.
It
Okay.
literally does the same thing where they have a cameo of a character and it completely changes the dynamic of the film. I can't let me think of surprising films. Pretty much everything this year like was on par with what I expected. Those were the big two for me. Honestly, I thought Babylon wouldn't be as good as it was. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much. I know a lot of people hate it, but screw them,
Mhm.
right?
Fuck them hoes.
Exactly.
A lot of people hated what?
Babylon. I mean, you've seen how many people
Oh,
left the
yeah,
theater.
Yeah. Hey, I keep cutting out.
The only movie I saw where a lot of people walked out of it was Midsommar.
Really? I didn't see that in
There were
theater.
like,
So,
yeah,
okay,
there were like
that's understandable because
mhm.
Ari Aster, he's known for having some very eccentric scenes, very grotesque, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah. Also, the
Uh,
part where the part where sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
no, you're
but
good. You're good.
the part where I believe is when everybody in the
Oh, is this for
rescue
Midsummer?
is
Is
yeah,
this for
for
Midsummer?
Midsommar.
Is it going to spoil anything?
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't be a great movie to spoil.
Oh,
Just,
Yeah, I've
just
never
there
seen
is a
Midsummer. Don't
scene.
spoil it.
Well, I'll just say this is a scene that in the movie is supposed to be very disturbing. Every single person in the theater was laughing.
Uh,
So it was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had.
Oh, I might know what you're talking about. I think I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
hmm
And
But it was just
he's Ari Aster's got another film coming out this year.
that's my most hyped movie for this year. Is I'm very excited because it's literally it's he said it as a horror comedy.
Yes, and did you know it's A24's most expensive production to date?
I did not. Oh
$92
no.
million. So
No, that's not fucking real.
Yeah,
No, that is not real.
I want to say it's 92 million.
That's
It
there's
is
no way that's
crazy
true.
expensive, and that makes
That
me really
that would
worried.
totally tank the studio if that is that expensive because there's no way.
I mean, Ari Aster they made a lot of money from his movies.
They did.
Sorry, 60 million. That's still a lot of money.
$65 million? Are
Yes.
you serious? That is insane.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard 92.
Oh my god, that is crazy. No, I had no idea it was that much. Oh my god. Well, everybody has to go see that movie.
Which
even if
movie?
they hate
It
it.
cut out for me a little bit again.
Ari Aster's film that's coming out this year, starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, what's it called?
Beau is Afraid. It's based on a short film he made. Back when he was in film school. And his short film was really weird, and so I'm really excited for this one.
Nice.
But
I have another film.
Oh,
if y'all are done talking about that one.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Okay. This one is so I expected it to be good, but I hadn't seen X, but I went to watch Pearl just as a standalone movie, and I loved it. It was really good. I loved how it kind of combined it felt like a really demented Disney movie, like a really demented Wizard of Oz.
Yes. That's a
and
perfect
like
way to put
stylistically. It was a lot of fun, very relatable for growing up in isolation.
Relatable to homeschoolers.
It's relatable to homeschoolers. I'd say Pearl is the #1 homeschooler movie of 2023.
Yeah, you said Tar.
22.
You said Tar was the Joker. I'm like, are you sure, man?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I think Pearl is genuinely the
homeschooler's
Joker of 2022, and I don't think
For
anybody
sure, for
can.
sure.
I don't think anybody can go against that. Yeah.
I also really love Pearl.
It was really fun. I cried during Pearl. That was a great movie. Great movie. Also, Bullet Train was a lot of fun.
I enjoy Bullet Train quite a bit. Bullet Train met my expectations. It was just a fun action movie.
Yeah, nothing too much. Nothing. Yeah,
nothing special.
It was
just a good brain dead time. Good time.
Bullet Train, literally, I was like, I'm gonna go in with pretty good expectations, and I came out, and all my expectations were met. Nothing was surpassed, but I still had a fun time. You're right.
Yeah.
Pearl is one of my favorite movies of the year, though. I loved Pearl a lot.
Pearl was awesome.
It's much better than X, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it actually made X better because it gave context. Like X didn't give any I think Pearl should have came out before X. I know they were made. Pearl was made after, but it would have made logical sense for Pearl to come out before X, in my opinion.
Do you think that I will appreciate X more now that I've seen Pearl first?
Yes, but
probably.
Okay, here's a good way to put it. X feels like a cash grab sequel to Pearl.
Huh. That's funny.
Matt, can you agree with that?
Yeah, because X is definitely supposed to be like an homage to 70s exploitation movies, and Pearl feels like its own unique thing because it's not There's no like 1930s slasher movie. You know what I mean? That's like
Right?
making
Pearl
its
was
own
so
thing.
unique.
And then the next movie that's going to come out is solely going to focus on Maxine, who's Mia Goth's character in X, but that's supposed to be an 80s homage. And it's like, well, we've had like a ton of those. So I don't know. Pearl was really good. I don't know why he's focusing on these other movies. I liked X, but comparatively, X is nowhere near as good as Pearl.
I agree, 100%.
Mhm.
And I guess this will segue perfectly into the next topic. We talked about the movies we like. We talked about what's most surprising, and I'm gonna mend this all together. What is the worst movie you've seen this year, or possibly the most disappointing movie you've seen this year?
Hold on, real quick. I want to rewind a little bit and just
Okay.
give a shout out to Triangle of Sadness. That movie was really fun. Did
I
y'all see
need
it?
that was my biggest blunder of 2022 is not seeing that in
Yeah.
theaters when it the limited release.
I
Yeah,
need to see
Blake
that.
told me to go watch it. He told me one scene where there's a
I'm gonna leave for 1
communist
second.
American arguing with a capitalist Russian, and
Mhm.
he says the best thing ever. I go to watch it, and he was right. It was the best thing ever. That movie is so. I think Triangle of Sadness is my favorite satire of the year.
Okay, okay.
It's the satire of just like rich people culture was incredible.
And I'm glad it's
Yeah.
getting a lot of attention because that's one of those films that could be easily swept under the rug.
The third act is the weakest, but it's still necessary to make the film make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Nice. And it was Woody Harrelson, right? That was in it.
Oh yeah, Woody Harrelson was great. Woody Harrelson is my favorite part of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we can go on to the next one now.
So worst movie or most disappointing movie? Ion, what do you have a disappointing or would you say the objectively worst movie that came out this year that you've seen or last year?
Okay, all right. Thor: Love and Thunder was my biggest disappointment.
Agreed. I can
Because
agree with that.
I love Taika Waititi, and I found things to like about it because I love his directing style and I love his sense of humor. But man, that was a huge disappointment.
It just felt cookie cutter and it felt rushed. It felt like a 2.5 hour movie that was turned into an hour and 50 minute or whatever the runtime was. It didn't add anything to the characters whatsoever. It actually, in my opinion, it actually detracted some of the characters. I don't know. That was one of my least favorite movies of the year as well.
Yeah, it was a huge blunder. Really sad to see because, especially I had such high expectations after Ragnarok because Ragnarok's my favorite Marvel movie. Yeah, big disappointment. I spent a little bit of time, like I guess, in denial. like there's things I like about it. Like leaving the theater, I'm like I'm iffy on it, but like maybe it'll get better the more I think about it. The more I thought about it, it's just no, it was bad.
That's me for a lot. I would say that's me for just about any Marvel movie. You watch it, you had a good time, and then you're looking back, that wasn't good. I just that wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. Matt, what are your like most disappointing film?
Ooh, are we going disappointing
film?
or worst?
It could go hand in hand. So
I don't really think I had any disappointing movies. I can say my worst one though.
okay.
So I have recently seen a film called The Manny.
Manny.
I have been diving into the world of Tubi originals.
Ooh.
And my friend, if you have not gone down this rabbit hole, it is a gold mine of some of the worst filth you will ever see in your entire life. There are such classic films as Shark Side of the Moon.
That's really good. Wait, that's really good. I like that.
I think that's all that needs to be said. And hold on, what are some other great Tubi originals that I was looking at? But by the way, if y'all have not downloaded, if there are people out there who have not downloaded the free streaming app Tubi, I would highly recommend it because if you're a fan of just weird cult movies or especially trash movies, there are a lot of classic 80s, 90s, 70s grindhouse slasher movies, giallo movies. a lot of early 2000s comedies that you forgot existed. Pretty much any shitty movie that you kind of remember is on Tubi, so I would highly recommend it. Yeah, so let's goes down some Tubi originals. There's a movie called Swim, and if you can see, this is if it pops up, but this is the poster.
Ooh, it's a little hard to see. I'll put something on screen.
It's right here, just so you can see it, Brek. It's just literally a shark.
Oh, it's actually just a shark. Okay.
It's just a shark. A Chance for Christmas, Tales of a Fifth Grade Robin Hood, Celebrity Exorcism, Girls Getaway Gone Wrong. There's a movie called First Person Shooter.
I don't know why that's the funniest title.
The plot of this one is the creative head of a video game development company is close to releasing his newest game when a mysterious coder begins to hack his life, destroying everything he knows.
Oh, I thought it was like a hardcore Henry situation where it's actually just the first person. Okay.
No. The Romeo and Juliet Killers, Titanic 666.
What is Titanic 666?
I don't even know.
Wait, are these just in general or the movies that came out in 2022?
These are just in general. Most of these came out in 2022. Like a new Tubi original comes out like once a fucking weekend.
Okay.
Pretty much.
I heard I'm looking through like different movies that came out in 22. I heard Studio 666 was really bad.
Oh yeah, I did kind of want to see that, but I got turned off by it.
Yeah, it didn't look. It looked insufferable.
Yeah. Oh my god, Lovin' Penguins, and my personal favorite. I have not seen this one because I refuse to watch this one, but even though it is not even yet, we have the classic story movie called Hot Take: The Depp Heard Trial.
No. Oh, okay.
It is amazing. If anybody could go watch the trailer for that, I highly recommend it.
Oh, got a 3.2 on IMDb. Oh
yeah,
hell yeah!
It has, and you know what's so funny is, okay, do y'all know how in like epic movie or disaster movie or any of those shitty parody movies, how they'll get a person that looks like a celebrity, kind of?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is what is literally the main cast of Depp Heard, where they got a guy who sounds kind of like Johnny Depp and looks kind of like Johnny Depp, but
oh, say that again. You cut out right there.
They got a person who looks and sounds kind of like Johnny Depp, but he cannot act for shit. I feel like they literally just looked up Johnny Depp impersonators and casted him for the main role. It is insane. But I didn't even get to. So the Manny is literally just like this really shitty stalker movie where this guy is a Manny. He's a male nanny, and he has to gaslight this woman into letting him get into her family, and he kills a lot of boyfriends. Convinces the kid to be violent. It's really terrible, and it's really boring. And it started out good for the first 10 minutes. It was pretty funny, and then the rest of it just sucked. Don't watch the Manny. It's not good. That's all I have to say.
Not even funny good? Not even funny good?
It's funny good for the first 10 minutes. If you want to watch the first 10 minutes. If you, if I could recommend another movie, though, and this isn't a 2022 movie, and it's not a Tubi original, but this just lets you know the catalog that is on Tubi. I recently saw a movie from 1994 on Tubi called L.A. AIDS Jabber.
What?
Oh, I saw your review of that actually.
Yes. And... it's a quality film. It's about a man. It's about a mentally deranged man who gets diagnosed with AIDS. So to take out his frustrations, he gets a syringe of his own blood and injects them into people so he can give them AIDS too.
He's literally what do you call those people that like purposely transfer STD to other people? Bug chasers. Bug chasers. Thank you.
He's a bug chaser.
Gotta catch them all, baby.
Mm-hmm. There are
Jesus
such
Christ.
amazing lines as "Welcome to the AIDS Club" and many others.
Oh
And
boy.
and the
Oh,
best
that's
part
good.
and the best part is it is shot entirely on VHS tape. So
Oh, that's amazing.
every scene you hear
This
the
is
shh.
literally bottom of the barrel of like a Best Buy $1 section, you know?
Yeah, it's well I doubt this shit made it to DVD. This may be one of
Good point,
those
good point.
it may be one of those like companies that takes like really shitty movies and upgrades them to Blu-ray like Vinegar Syndrome.
Mhm.
But no, I would highly recommend LA AIDS Stabber. Jabber. Sorry, Jabber.
Jabber, not stabber. All right.
That
I
sounds like a fun movie.
Yeah, I also saw Morbius this year.
I didn't go see it. I wish I had.
Do
No, you
you
don't.
now? Do you?
No, you don't.
I know everything that happens in that movie, and nothing happens.
So,
Yeah,
so
honestly.
would you describe it as just like entirely mediocre?
It's very boring except for a couple funny parts in it where it's just kind of cringy.
Hmm.
That's why when I saw it became a meme, I thought it was really funny because I just can't wait for those people who are like, "Oh yeah, it's Morbin time. Yeah, we're gonna rent Morbius tonight," and then they're just bored out of their fucking minds.
Those were like the $72,000 they got from when they reopened.
Yeah,
Morbius.
that's
That were those people.
that's so embarrassing. Like that is so embarrassing. I've never seen that happen before. That was so awesome.
Imagine bombing twice.
I know. It's the first movie to bomb twice. So no, fuck Morbius. I also really hated Death on the Nile.
Oh, I forgot they came out this year.
Yeah, very, very bad. Was not a fan of that. The green screens were awful. All of the acting sucked. I guess the killer, as soon as the murder happened, I was like, oh, it's that person. And then I was right. And I've seen some people say, oh, it's a throwback to movies from the 40s and 50s and 60s. And it's like, okay, those movies are entertaining, though. Those movies can be good. This was not good. So I don't know. Not a fan.
Just
I
know
hated.
Morbius sucks. That's all you need to know.
Okay, understandable. I have Morbius in a WebM file on my phone right now. The entire movie. Download it from someone put a Discord link to it on Reddit, and it was like in total like 100 megabytes. It's compressed to shit. So
That's the quality
Yeah.
Morbius experience right there.
Mhm.
You know what the worst part was? Because me and my friend went to see it, and we were excited because this was like the first weekend. So everybody was taking pictures of the empty Morbius theater and said, we're the only ones here for Morbius. And we were going to do that. And the theater was packed. There were a ton of people in it. I was like, what's going on?
Houston
It was
moment.
all old people too, which was weird because we saw it at night, but it was all like old people.
It's because old people want to become vampires and live forever.
That's true.
Boom, there it is.
Haven't you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
That's
Taika Waititi's best movie.
That's true.
Just kidding. That's Jojo Rabbit.
That's true. That's true. Well, it's because old people are just really big Jared Leto fans.
Yeah.
They love 30 Seconds to Mars.
They love that kombucha. They love Jared Leto's kombucha. If you get the reference, you know. If you get the reference, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Glass Onion was really fun.
Yeah, but I have a couple of movies that are most disappointing. Some of the biggest ones of this year. Probably the most disappointing movie for me was Multiverse of Madness, because I adore Sam Raimi so much, and that felt just like Sam Raimi watered down to like a Marvel tier. It's like there are 17, I think it's like 17 to 20 seconds of that movie that is close to being halfway on par with Everything Ever All at Once. Only 20 seconds. The rest of it is just like boring and mediocre. And I had really high hope because I loved the first Doctor Strange movie more than most people.
Oh, I did too.
I know that with Sam Raimi on board, I thought the art direction that they were going to go to would be even better, but no. Another one was The Gray Man, because I'm a Ryan Gosling fan. All right. Yeah, call me a normie. I don't care. Ryan Gosling's awesome. That was also just really boring. That was really boring. And they used drone shots in that movie and it was ass. It did not look good. There was a nice action scene in there though, but that's all I could say about that. But objectively, the worst movie I've seen this year was Blonde. I don't know if y'all have know or heard of Blonde, because
I've heard
not
so much.
only was it bad, it thought it was the best movie to come out this year. It was so pretentious. Not only is this pretentious, but it's based on a true person, and they didn't do anything with that. It basically is the compilation of Marilyn Monroe's worst part of her life. That's what that movie was, and it's an 2 hours and 47 minutes long, and she acts like an infant throughout the entire movie. Even when she's an adult, they go through her childhood. Even when she's an adult, she acts like an infant in the entire movie. It sucks. And the one that just like I just liked this movie was when her aborted fetus started talking. That's when I clocked out. I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't know what this movie wants from me. Still watch the whole thing. The ending is one of the worst things I've seen this year. It's so bad. Never recommend it. It's dump it all the other garbage that Netflix put out, except for a couple good stuff like Pinocchio or Glass Onion. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw that aborted fetus clip on Twitter.
Oh,
And I was just
so
like
bad.
any any like curiosity I hadn't seen that movie was just like, nope. That's it. It's not gonna get better than this. Also, that scene is worse because her problem was that she was barren. And that she really wanted kids, but she can never have them. It's just like
it's so offensive.
Why
It's so
make that
weird.
up?
It's so weirdly offensive. I don't know what they were trying to go for.
Was it supposed to be like a pro-life thing?
I don't know.
I wouldn't even say so. No, I don't know.
I don't think anybody knows what it wants to be. But apparently, because the director came out and said, like, yeah, all women were at that time or some shit. Like, he said that. And it makes it, because here's the thing, like, he's directed, like, I've never seen any of his movies, but I
love his movies. I love Assassination of Jesse James was one of my favorite modern westerns. And that's why I was even more excited for this movie.
It like makes me not want to go check out his other movies.
I would highly recommend Assassination of Jesse James.
Okay, cool.
That's a great movie.
I did also see the part in Blonde where she's having the threesome and the bed turns into a waterfall.
Yes. And also the climax of the movie is JFK quite literally climaxing. But it's from afar and they don't show anything. They only show the silhouettes because it's artsy, man. Because it's artsy.
Please say there's a really bad JFK impersonator.
Impersonator is really stretching it, man.
Ooh.
It's really stretch. Yeah.
Did they show the silhouette of him like ejaculating though? I know it's NC-17.
Okay, so here's the thing: the NC-17 almost doesn't feel warranted because I have seen worse, like more graphic stuff from rated R films. Honestly, I don't know.
Would you say it's the Showgirls of this generation?
Well, I haven't seen Showgirls. I know it's the only Hollywood production that was NC-17 since Showgirls. I know about that, but
yes.
I don't know. I just want to forget that. I just want to forget that movie ever existed. To be honest. Oh man.
Yeah,
and I know it's gonna Ana de Armas is gonna get a lot of nominations for it, and she honestly deserves it because she did act. She was the only good part of that movie because the direction that she was given was absolutely atrocious. Yeah.
Does she do an American accent in the movie?
She did, and she actually played a very good Marilyn Monroe with what she was given.
Okay.
When they did the recreation scenes with like the what was it, the gems are a girl's best friend, whatever.
Diamonds are
a girl's best. Thank you. When they recreated that was good. That was fine. But
all right, cool.
You don't get bonus points for recreating something. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. Let's go back to the positives here. We've talked about the most surprising, but just to like I guess wrap things up a little bit. What are some like underrated films that came out this year? Films that not a lot of people saw or not a lot of people know about that they should have seen or they may enjoy. Ian, I'm gonna start with you. There any movies like that?
Oh, sorry, say that again.
What are some movies that came out in 2022 that maybe not a lot of people saw that they should have seen more of, or maybe something you recommend to somebody?
Let me think about it for a second.
All right. Matt, are you there? All right.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Gotcha. You got any?
Let's see. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I have a lot more answers for bad than I thought, but we already moved past that. Yeah, so in terms of underrated that I think more people should see, I really liked Crimes of the Future. That was a new
I
David
agree.
Cronenberg.
I didn't get to see that one.
I agree.
I thought it was really good. I know it got a mixed reception and not too many people were super impressed with it, but I thought it was really good. It's kind of
I
like his
really
version
wanted
of
to see
Blade
it.
Runner. Yeah, no, I would highly recommend it.
It feels like a meta critique on Cronenberg's own filmography. Because it's body horror, but it's not the body horror that you expect, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's definitely more like it combines like the body horror with like the artsy side of Cronenberg, if that makes sense. It's more about the climate and how we're going to evolve as humans, and it talks about art, like you're right, but it also talks about how performative art can be a lot of the time, especially when you're at a place where you don't really feel the impacts of a lot of the stuff that you're talking about. And I think all of that was really good in it.
Just know, if you haven't seen it, don't go in expecting to fly or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
no,
or
no.
Videodrome. It's nothing like that.
Interesting.
No. And then let's see what other I saw a movie called Emily the Criminal that I thought was pretty good.
I heard about that.
Stars Aubrey Plaza. It was it was good. I liked it. It was just a solid movie. I know it was kind of popular on Netflix, but I enjoyed it. And then underrated movies or movies that more people should see. I guess is RRR underrated at this point?
I don't think so. It got a massive
So
cult following.
I feel like that's not going to be it. But I mean, if you haven't seen The Northman, go watch The Northman.
Northman was good.
Sure.
I didn't know. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. It was good, don't get me wrong, but I had a lot more issues to because I adored The Witch. I adored A Lighthouse. Northman, I only enjoyed. I think that's Eggers' worst film. And it sucks that he didn't get that Nosferatu anymore, because that would have been awesome.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he was supposed to. I don't know if it's completely canceled. I'm pretty sure it is, but he was supposed to do a Nosferatu remake, but with William Dafoe, and that got scrapped.
So. Yeah, that sucks. That's awful. But no, I honestly, personally, really love The Northman a lot. Big fan of The Northman.
Yeah, I thought The Northman was really fun.
I guess that would be an underrated movie. Not a lot of people saw that.
I'd say it's underrated. I don't know if I consider Triangle of Sadness underrated, but I feel like a lot of people didn't go see it.
Also didn't help. It had a pretty limited release. But now that it's on streaming, there are no excuses. Anything else you want to add to that list?
In terms of underrated, no. I think that's it.
Because I got quite a few that got swept. I think that got swept under the rug for a lot of people. Mad God was a big one. Not a lot of people saw Mad God. And that was fan freaking tastic. That had some of the best atmosphere I've seen in an animated film.
That was the best animation.
And I'm a sucker for stop motion. But speaking of stop motion, Marcel the Shell, very good as well. I nearly cried in the theater. That was very, very wholesome.
Very nice.
But I want to say maybe I'll put as the most underrated for me was a small little horror film that came out, and this cements as probably the best year for sequels with say what you want about Avatar 2, Top Gun Maverick, and what was the other sequel we talked about? Sonic 2. Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 pleasantly surprised me because I absolutely hated the first one. But I heard Terrifier 2 is like 2.5 hours, which is crazy for a slasher movie. And especially crazy the fact that it only had a $250,000 budget.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta admit, you can see that budget. You could tell it's low budget, but the effects are so fun. As a fan of horror, the effects are so much fun that I didn't care. It was really enjoyable. It actually had characters that I low-key cared about. I just had a really good time, and I think that might be one of the most underrated films of that year.
It felt like the slasher movie to end all slashers.
It really did. I can't see anybody in terms of like gore. I can't see anybody topping that.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like when you hear those reports of people when The Exorcist or Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, people were fainting in the theater and they were running out of the theater because they were so scared. And there were reports that people were fainting during Terrifier 2 screenings. And it was just so cool seeing something like that in the mainstream theater. Like my Grammy theoretically could have gone and seen a ticket for Terrifier 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you had to go to like across town to see it. It was very cool. And yeah, the fact that it's like a really low budget movie that did that well is kind of awesome.
It did. It made like 10 times the budget or something like that.
Yeah. And I think guy who played Art the Clown should get an Oscar nom for acting. Like actually, honestly. I mean that unironically.
He was one of the freakiest villains I've seen in quite a while.
His smile is so unnerving.
It really is. You know what? Screw it. Terrifier 2 is the Joker of 2022.
Oh my god. Is that just our base level movie now? Which movie is the Joker?
Yeah, which movie's the Joker?
Damn, Don't Worry, Darling is the female Joker of 2022.
What do you mean? That's Pearl, man. We already established that.
It's everything.
Oh, it is true.
It's everything, everywhere, all at once.
It's the Joker of 2022.
It's all the Joker.
Hey, I know what the two best movies of 2022 were.
And what is that?
That would be Alienated and Bag Back.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard those are really good.
Yeah, those are really good. Yeah. And when they done with festival circuits, y'all should check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's so crazy.
Yeah, best films of 2022.
We want to talk about most disappointing movies of 2022. Definitely Bag Back. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Everybody watch it.
Yep.
When I put it out. Eventually. It's still doing festival circuits right now. So
I can't think of anything else that I would consider underrated because I mean, there's a lot of films that everybody knows about that we knew it was going to be pretty good at least. Like some films we never talked about is Nope. We never talked about Nope yet.
Yeah, Nope is great.
The Batman, fantastic. I think we talked a little about Fablesman. A little bit about Avatar 2. What y'all? I know Ian never saw Avatar 2. Matt, what do you think of Avatar 2? Because I'm kind of torn personally.
Some of the best visuals I've ever seen in my entire life. I thought it looked super. There were times I forgot it was CGI. It was the first movie in a while where I genuinely was curious how they did a lot of the stuff in it. Everything else is really boring, and it was. I am very good. To me, I can get through a movie. I think if it stylistically looks very cool, even if the story is very weak, like the visuals can carry me. But Avatar 2 was really pushing it because that movie is 3 hours, and for a movie that I think was in development for 10 plus years.
Well, I expected every Avatar sequel was in development for 10 plus years.
Yeah, it's just like I expect more from a story wise, and people are like, you know what, it doesn't matter, you go and you're invested in the world, I'm like, you know what? That's fine. But then when Martin Scorsese says movies are like theme park rides now,
That's what
you got
Avatar
to
is.
include Avatar 2 in that. I
Yep.
literally saw footage of like this guy, or it was a TikTok of this woman who took her boyfriend to see Avatar 2, and it's like, I'm torturing my boyfriend by putting him in the 4D seats for Avatar 2. And then the chairs are jerking around while they're on that flying serpent thing or whatever, and the boyfriend is like fucking miserable. He's trying to hold on to the popcorn. It's awful. Who would see a movie like that? I don't get it. But no. But if I would say though, if you're gonna go see Avatar 2, see it in the theater because there's no point watching it on your TV.
Look, I think that the next movie experience should be full VR, and they put you in a big tub of goo and like electrodes, and like it like messes with you and like forces you to like contort your body, like to exactly match what's happening in the movie, so you really experience it. You have to like breathe through the tube.
Saving Private Ryan, the full experience.
Yeah.
That would have been good for the underwater scenes in Avatar 2.
True.
Or Terrifier 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or
experience.
Terrifier 2. Yeah, or Terrifier.
The salt scene would have been amazing.
Yeah. How does it feel to get stabbed 67 times in 3 seconds? You know?
Great. I don't see what people are complaining about.
All right. So just a couple things. Are there any other films that came out this year that we want to talk about before we wrap things up? I think we've hit just about everything.
Well, I highly enjoyed the Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yes, it was good.
I
Very
loved
good.
Triple R quite a bit. Jackass Forever. I took my little cousin to see that because it's so funny, and this is such a heartwarming story, and it made me feel really old because my little cousin, he's like 16, 17.
Mhm.
He's not even that young, but he came up to me. He's like, Matt, have you heard of this thing called Jackass? I was like, yes, Joey, I've heard of this thing called Jackass. And he was like, it's like Impractical Jokers, but for real. And I'm like, yeah, you could say that. And I was like, we're going to go see Jackass Forever when it comes out. And bro, that was some of the hardest I have laughed in a movie theater in my entire life. I loved Jackass Forever. I thought it was great.
How much of a role did Eric Andre play in it? Because I know he was in it.
He's in it for quite a bit, actually. He helps out with some of the skits. Tyler the Creator is also in it.
Oh,
as
sweet!
Well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
He honestly, I thought had one of the funnier bits in the movie. And then Rob Dietrich is in it for some reason. Remember Rob Dietrich?
Who's that?
Rob Dietrich's Fantasy Factory.
Never heard of it.
I actually don't know that.
He's like one of the biggest examples of like a skater selling out, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a lot of TV. He hosts Ridiculousness on MTV.
Oh,
The show that will never not stop playing. Not to shit on Rob Dietrich, but also Machine Gun Kelly's in the movie, and he gets the shit beat out of him, so that's really funny.
my parents love Ridiculousness. My brain turns off when it comes on.
It's America's Funniest Home Videos for the new generation.
It is.
Mm. I really liked Intergalactic, which was the Netflix kid movie.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked that a lot, more than I thought I would, actually. Weird, the Al Yankovic story.
Oh, I need to see it.
It was so good. It was like an 80s comedy, like for how goofy and slapsticky it was. It was great. And then Top Gun Maverick, we talked about a little bit. Barbarian was really good.
Honestly,
Barbarian.
I enjoy Barbarian, but I don't think we've given Top Gun Maverick enough credit. I've never seen like stunts done to that degree in a movie until I saw Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah, no, same.
It is insane what they managed to accomplish, especially if you like look at the behind the scenes and realize that like one day of shooting only provided like 5 seconds of footage that's used in the actual movie, something like that. It is nuts.
Swamp. That's the average swamp shoot.
And the fact that all of the lighting done on Ariel is all natural lighting. That means the dude had to, the DP had to go and check all the weather, like the weather and everything to see if it's the exact right, like weather condition. Like the sky looked perfect. It's just, I don't understand how a movie like that gets made. It's crazy. I'm so glad it made a lot of money.
Yeah, me too. I was surprised that it was the highest grossing movie of the year for some time.
Now that we talked about 2022 in review, what are some anticipated films for 2023?
Ooh, Barbie.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
Barbie.
excited for Barbie.
I can just start name dropping. I know a lot.
poster.
There's a lot that I'm excited for this year.
Mhm.
The
Bo's not
poster one
okay.
I was reading about. 1 second.
We discussed Beau is Afraid.
Or Bo is afraid. Yeah.
Oppenheimer, Dune Part 2, John Wick 4. I'm actually excited for Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny. Let me think.
Oh, Infinity Pool.
Yes, I'm excited.
Oh,
for
Infinity Pool looks fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm really excited
I
for that.
haven't seen anything on it. I've seen the poster is really cool.
You know who's directing it, right?
Yeah, Cronenberg's son.
Yeah, Brandon Cronenberg. He did Possessor, and that was pretty fun. So I am excited for that. And Mia Goth is in it. Alexander Skarsgård. That one's gonna be. I have hope for that one. I really do.
Awesome.
Let me think. What else? There are so many movies that's coming out this year. It's nuts. Like
Hold
everything.
on, guys. Everything you just said does not matter because I looked up 2023 movies.
Mhm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Mutant Mayhem.
Mhm.
Holy shit!
Yep.
I am
Forgot
so
about that.
excited.
No. Meg 2.
No, is that real?
Yeah, that's
Meg
real.
2? Oh
Meg
my
2.
god.
Meg 2 is coming out this year.
Oh,
It's called
I'm
Meg
so
2.
excited.
It's called Meg 2 Trench.
I'm so excited.
Y'all are giving no love to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, speaking of Cocaine Bear, how could we forget about Cocaine Bear?
Cocaine Bear, yes.
Of course. What else is even coming out?
Oh,
Teen Wolf the movie. It's already a movie.
Dude, the Mario movie.
True.
Oh yeah,
true.
the Mario movie looks.
The Mario
really
movie
good.
looks great. I'm excited for that. That actually looks like Illumination's best work, even just by the trailer.
Yeah, and maybe Chris Pratt will do all right.
Yeah. Maybe people will. A lot of people hated some other like voice acting performances, and they saw the movie and it was okay.
You know, I will watch Knock at the Cabin just to see how Dave Bautista is expanding his acting. Just for Dave Bautista, he really wants to do more.
M. Night.
I have no hopes. I'm there for Dave.
You're there for Dave. All right.
I'm there for Dave.
I heard the book wasn't even that good.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know why I always forget about that's coming out because it's got pushed back so many times. I always forget about that.
The Flash.
That's funny. That's funny that
that's gonna be
coming out.
That's gonna be so funny. I can't wait to see them on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get some shit for this, but I'm actually excited for that new Ant-Man movie. I actually am very. The
trailer.
The trailer. I hate. I don't like Ant-Man movies. I didn't like the first. The second one was garbage, but this one looks really good. And have you seen a poster for it? The poster looks insane because they don't show a single actor on it, which I've never seen for a Marvel movie before. The main poster does not have a single image of an actor or actress. What else? There's so many.
I'm sorry, Saw X.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I'm behind on my movies. I had no idea these were coming out. It has Tobin Bell in it. Oh my god, this is awesome. The Hunger Games prequel.
I don't particularly care about.
I'll see it for Hunter Schafer. Oh my goodness, Wish, the movie based off of The Shooting Star from Disney.
Wait, no way.
Oh, that's real. That's real.
Wait, a Peter Pan sequel? What? No, they're not.
Kingdom. They're remaking The Color Purple.
Yeah, I hear about that. Creed 3.
The Wonka movie. Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie, obviously.
But y'all know how Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield. The new Garfield movie is gonna be set in New York, and it's like Italian mob based, and Jared Leto is gonna be in it. I'm really excited for that.
Wait,
That's
is that real?
Yeah.
No way.
that's great. What is the point of a Gran Turismo movie?
I'm trolling. It's not real.
I was gonna say,
I
man.
was gonna say,
But
I mean, I could
okay,
believe-
I wouldn't put it past them at this point. I wouldn't put it past them.
Dude, they got Al Pacino.
That would unironically be better than any movie that they could release about Garfield. Okay,
There's
that's just a
another-
good idea.
Secretly, I'm a Garfield fan. All right, I have hopes, but Chris Pratt as Garfield, not good.
Oh, the Mad Max movie is coming out this year.
Oh shit!
Furiosa.
Furiosa. Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Blue Beetle.
I'm sorry. There's a new Haunted Mansion movie coming out that has Rosario Dawson, Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Tiffany Haddish, Danny DeVito, Jared Leto, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Winona Ryder.
All right.
That is a
Damn,
stacked
that
ass
is a
cast.
that is a cast and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the new Mission Impossible movie.
Yes, Evil Dead Rise.
It looks all right.
Really? I'm very excited for that one.
The new Wes Anderson movie, Asteroid City.
Asteroid City. There's a non-zero chance I'll get pushed back, I think, from what I've heard.
There is the classic Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I do want to see new Guardians of the Galaxy.
I do too.
Yeah.
Renfield looked good.
Especially now I know that it's Dave Bautista's last role as a character in that.
Dave Bautista?
Yeah, in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were talking about Transformers. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's gonna be his last role. So
I am not seeing Scream 6 just because I do not like the fact that they recast or Nev Campbell is not in it. I'm like, I don't see a point.
Yeah,
Scream
we should probably start wrapping this up. But yeah. Excited for 2023. 2022 was a good year. But
I got some more time if you have some more movies to talk about.
I don't know. I think we talked about just about everything.
I could go on my I love you, you hate me rant if you want.
I don't know what that is.
It is the 2-part miniseries about Barney the dinosaur.
Oh yeah. We talked about that.
The dumbest fucking thing I think I've seen all year. Not that I had any expectations going in, but I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so that actually came out this year? I didn't know that.
It did, yeah. It's really stupid. They try to paint like the hatred that Barney got is like some of like the worst thing in the world, and Barney was just this pure soul, and how could anybody do this and stuff. And then they at some point try to, because I guess there were these people that made a board game based off Barney, like hating Barney, and they called it like the anti-Barney jihad or something. To be fair, it is really cringy, but they tried to sue, and the Barney people tried to sue them, and I don't think it went through. And then at some point, the guy is like saying, well, we did, like there's the hatred that we gave Barney. Like you could find traces to like the alt-right in today's day and age. And they start playing like footage from Charlottesville and like Black Lives Matter riots, and it's just like, what is happening? Where did this go? It is so forced. And then at the end, it turns out, spoilers, it turns out that the son of the person that created Barney shot his neighbor, didn't kill him, and then it's like, wow, how could a person whose mother invented Barney do something violent? And it is just, it came off as if they found out about that story and they were just like working backwards. Let's try to make Barney look as dark as possible and stuff. It was really stupid. And then it had the, because it talked about where all the kids were once Barney ended. And then it gave us some I just became emo because I wanted to get away from Barney. I got bullied at school. And then one kid said, the streets was calling me. And when Barney ended, I picked up the phone. And then he proceeded to say how he was involved with gang wars. So that part was great. So some of the worst of what true crime has to offer, or these stupid true crime documentaries.
Honestly, YouTubers produce better stuff. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say.
the only interesting part about the documentary was about the rise of Barney, just because it was in Dallas, and it's just interesting seeing a story like that about how this pop culture icon came to be, what happened when it blew up. You know, it's that stuff is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I also hated Men.
Oh, I forgot that came out.
Not good. We want to talk about disappointing movie. I don't really even think I had expectations, but I didn't expect it to not like it that much.
Because I like Ex Machina and Annihilation, but I heard it's just so mediocre that I just didn't bother.
It's mediocre and it's really forced.
Yeah, I was really excited for it because I love Annihilation, but I didn't go see it because I heard it was mediocre.
And Alex Garland, he's written a lot of good stuff. He did 28 Days Later. He did what is that? Dread. He did the Dread remake.
Oh, really? I didn't know he did that.
He wrote the Dread remake. Yeah. So he's done a lot of interesting stuff, especially in the science fiction horror category. So sucks that Men didn't do so well, or it's just not a good movie.
Yeah, there was a part towards the end where me and my friend who saw it were laughing hysterically, and it was clearly supposed to be scary.
Oh.
And I do not understand what they were going for. I just do not understand what he was going for. Also, shout out to the Beavis and Butthead movie. That was pretty great.
Do the Universe, right?
Yes, Do the Universe. Turning Red was really good.
I heard it was good.
Yeah.
I liked Turning Red. I saw a really cool documentary called Meet Me in the Bathroom, which is about the rise of early 2000s indie rock scene in New York. So the AI Gas, the Strokes, LCD Sound System, those bands.
Cool.
And last but not least, gotta give my love to the Bob's Burgers movie.
I did hear good stuff about that.
Highly recommend it. My ketchup bottle just fell over, but it's okay.
How thematic.
Yeah, exactly. Because it bombed. That's why it fell over.
Did it actually? That stuck.
It bombed pretty hard. Well, I think it came out the same day as Top Gun Maverick. So
we could briefly touch on the movie that bombed the hardest, Amsterdam.
There's nothing to say.
There's really nothing to say. We could just move on.
Hey, shout out to Bob from Bob's Burgers for being the best bisexual icon.
For sure. What about I was gonna say a joke, I can't think of anything. So yeah, thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank
you, Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right.
Thanks the meat and the patties.
Right, so yeah, this is SWAMPCast.
And the buns. Oh, that joke failed. That joke failed. Oh no.
All right, we're ending it here. All right.
No.
I'm sorry, Matt. This is SWAMPCast, and yeah, we'll catch y'all in the next episode.
Yeah, I'll see you meaty bun boys later.